Hey guys, so today I thought I would do something that is kind of taking me back, showing you how to do eyeshadow. And you might be like, oh, we know how to do eyeshadow. If you don't, this video is for you. If you are like, I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. I suck at it. It never looks blended. The colors look weird. I can never do a good eye look. Like, look, we've all been there. It's sort of like anything. It just takes a lot of practice. So I wanted to sit here today and show you guys from start to finish, as if you know nothing, how to do a blended eyeshadow look. Now this is gonna be simple, but effective, and it's gonna look really pretty and it can work on anybody. There are a lot of different eye types out there. I have quite a lot of lid space to work with, but some people have completely hooded lids. Some people have monolid. For me, it's sort of all visible. As you can see, when you like look straight into the camera lens or a mirror or whatever, you can see my eyelid. You can see the crease. You can see up here. Whereas some eyes, like ones I'm inserting pictures of here, you can't see any of this lid. It's sort of like, almost like the lid, the top brow part sits over this part to where when you do eyeshadow, your eye completely eats it up and you're like, where did it go? So there's different techniques for people with hooded lids. Because I don't have them, I'm not gonna be able to show it to you here today, but I will be able to link some videos down below of people who do have hooded eyes. Today's video, I wanna sit down and I wanted to just explain eyeshadow for somebody who's a beginner. So we're just gonna hop into it and I'm just gonna show you what I know. So before you get into actually doing the eyeshadow, you're gonna need to pick which one you want. Obviously it depends on what color you want. It depends on what look you're going for. Today I'm gonna teach like a very basic, very basic eye look that is really effective for pretty much everyone. Bridal. It'll work for prom. It'll work for every day. It'll work for evening. You can really like darken it or lighten it as you want because it's all about the colors that you choose. You can go in with a Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette and pay $200, or you can go in with a NYX eyeshadow palette and pay $20. This little quad, absolutely amazing. This is from e.l.f. It's just a few dollars. So you don't need to pay a lot of money for good eyeshadow. Back in the day, that was kind of the case. You needed to pay a lot to get a lot. And now that's not really the case. I say this all the time, but eyeshadow used to kind of suck. It did. It was sort of one of those things that you could review from one brand to another, and one brand would perform way better than another. Like high-end shadows like MAC were better. Now, no, e.l.f. totally fine. At the end of the day, let's break it down to what it is. Eyeshadow is crushed up rock mixed with pigments. Boom, there you go. That's all it is. So somebody else's crushed rock might be a little bit better and somebody's might be a little bit less good, but ultimately at the end of the day, makeup's all kind of good now. Back in 2010, CoverGirl eyeshadows or Wet n Wild, they were actual garbage, and now they're pretty freaking good. So that's why I'm not really worried as much about brand in this video, because you can go to Natasha Denona, like I said, you can do Pat McGrath, you can pay hundreds of dollars for eyeshadows if you like the look and that's your vibe. Or you can get e.l.f., you can get ColourPop, you can get NYX, you can get, there's so many different ones that you can choose from, and they're all pretty good. So then it's just about the color choices that you want. So you're gonna go to your skin tone, and you wanna go with a shade or two lighter than yours, and then a shade or two darker than yours, and then a mid-tone shade that's kind of close. Those are gonna be the shades that you're gonna wanna use to blend, like any sort of easy brown smoky eye. It's just really easy to do. So like for this palette, for me, because I have fair skin, this is kind of perfect because I can highlight with this shade, I can do a lot of the deepening with this, and then I have these two sort of mid-tone shades right here that I can use to kind of blend things out. One of the keys to eyeshadow, if you're new, and something that I feel like a lot of people downplay because tutorials don't really show it, is blending. Blending. Like blending too much. Blending so long that you're like, why am I still blending? And then a little bit more. Those little sponges that come with eyeshadows, those garbage. But you can still do an eye look with them if that's all you have, but really just getting like a couple of decent brushes. They don't even have to be good. They can just even be decent. A fluffy one like this guy. This is a good brush. A nice little blending brush like this to get into like the crease, you know, when you want to get a little more precise. You really don't need much more than those two because you have fingers as well and you can use that. But if you don't and you want something else, you can get a little brush like this, which is sort of like a little brush that you can pack on color with, but you don't need a ton. Literally, you don't. You don't need everything that everyone online makes you feel like you need in order to have good eyeshadow. Really, all you need is a couple of good eyeshadows, patience and practice, mascara. If you're gonna use lashes, and lash glue. And I do recommend an eyelash curler if you're not going to use false lashes, because an eyelash curler just really adds a lot of volume and curl. I'm not trying to belittle you in this video, by the way, because it can kind of sound that way. You're like thinking, we know this. I try to think of it like this. if maybe you're brand new to makeup and you don't have anybody in your life to teach you, you don't have a big sister, you don't have a mom, you don't have an aunt, you don't have anybody that's teaching you, like, but they say words and you're like, I've never heard that word before, I don't know what that means. I want to teach this to you like you literally have never heard of makeup. Like you don't know because nobody's told you this before. And I'm not going to assume you know just because I know. It's the curse of knowledge. So I'm going to use this e.l.f. quad today just to keep it simple. So I'm going to start off my eyeshadow with a concealer. Now I'm actually using a foundation / concealer and I'm using it in a few shades lighter than my skin tone, just so that it really makes the eyeshadows be vibrant and pop on the eyes. You can use an eyeshadow primer. A lot of people use like the P. Louise base. I'm just gonna be honest, like more is just more for me. If I can use one product to do 3 things, I'm gonna do that for myself personally. So I like to use the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Foundation and Concealer because it is foundation and concealer. It's both in one. And so it's cool. It's got this like bottle right here where it has a pump. So you can pump it out the top or you can take it out and there's a doe foot applicator on the inside. I just love it. It comes in 100 different shades. It works really good. It works great for priming your lids and on your skin. Like it's literally super full coverage. I have no complaints of it. I've been using it for like 6 years. I love it. So this is the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. I wet this in the sink and then squeeze out all the excess water so that it's really, really floppy. I like to call this blimby. And it gets to this point where it's really easy to just blend out foundation or your concealer or whatever you want to use it for. So I've got that on, and then you don't have to do this next step, or you can. Just depends on the type of person that you are. But you can take a little bit of powder if you want, like face powder. I have this one here. This is the e.l.f. Halo Glow powder, and you can take a little tiny bit of that. You can take it on your sponge, and I mean a little tiny bit, and just sort of set that if you want. I'm talking a little bit. Just so that it's not creasing and sliding around. You don't have to do this step, and then the eyeshadow you put over top will be more vibrant. However, I find if I don't set my eyes with a little bit of powder, I find that my eyeshadow can cling in certain spots and be more difficult to blend. And if I'm assuming that you are a beginner at eyeshadow when teaching this, you're gonna want it to be a little easier to blend. So a little bit of powder. You can also use a light colored eyeshadow for this, or whatever, like your skin tone's colored eyeshadow. So then I'm gonna take this and I'm choosing to go in with either one of these shades. I'm gonna choose this one because it's a little less warm and I feel like more people might like it. So I'm gonna take this color right here and I'm gonna take it on a fluffy blending brush and I'm just dipping into it and then tapping off the excess. A lot of people like to blow on it. You can get spit on it. It's not very hygienic. It's your face. You can do whatever you want, but I just tap off the excess. And then I'm going to, wherever you place it's gonna be the darkest. So I like to start right on the outer corner because that's typically where you want a little bit more of the darkness anyway, and just sweep. And you're just sweeping, sweeping, sweeping. Like I said, if you have a different eye shape than me, this is going to be different because hooded eyes are way different than one like mine. But really all you're doing right now is sort of getting that mid-toned shade all over the crease. And this is the crease of your eye right here. This is your brow bone. This is your lid, your mobile lid is what it's called. But really all I'm trying to do is just sort of back and forth, back and forth. And as you can see how many times I'm doing it, and you might think like, that's enough, you've got it. No, you can't tell me what to do. So now I'm going to just keep going. So you can also do like patting motions like this. Pat, 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 until it looks mostly blended. At this point, if you're like, oh my God, the outside of my eye looks terrible, you can go in with a little bit of the lightest shade, dip, 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 tap, 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 and just sort of run it along the edges to blend that out. I think that's the thing that people really have to keep in mind is that the blending is more than you think. It really is. It's not something that you just tap. You really want to take your time if you want it to look really good. So backing up, looking at you, you can see that adds quite a bit of depth to the inner corner of the eye. So now I'm going to take that other brush that I showed you. This is the ColourPop E9. Any brush like this is fine. And I'm going to dip it into the darkest shade. I'm going to dip, 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 dip. Tap off the excess. Remember that where you place your brush is where the color is going to deposit the most. I like to, at this point, tilt my head back and look down into a mirror. When you're looking straight on like this, it's going to look different. I like to tilt my head back, look down into the mirror, and then sort of place that color on the outer portion of the eye. I sort of tap it on the outer third of the lower lid right here and into the crease. I'm not taking this one all the way across. You can if you want to, it's your life and it's just makeup, it washes off, it's really no big deal. But for this eye look, I'm just taking it on the outer third of the eye. And you see how I'm being pretty precise about it. I'm not really just slapping it on. I'm being relatively precise. You can do this way faster, by the way. Like, we're 15 minutes into this video. This would take me 5 minutes if I wasn't explaining how to do it. Just tap it on the outer portion into the crease while you're looking down, keeping your eyes open, and you're kind of just tapping it right here. And as you can see, that just adds quite a bit of depth to the outer portion of the eye. And then we can take this same brush in one of those lighter colors again and just sort of really blend it in. You can make your eye, like you can even put a piece of tape on if you want and make your eye have like a really sharp cut. I'm just not gonna do that right now because I'm trying to make this as attainable for anybody. Anybody at all. Anywhere. And this is just that very simple basic eye look. So now this palette that I have from e.l.f. does not have a shimmer shade in it. And you don't have to have a shimmer shade. Shimmer shades are just, it's up to you. It's personal preference. Today, I think I want to go matte. I'm not going to go with a shimmer. I'm just going to go matte. So what I'm going to do is take that same brush or any little flat brush, shader brush, and I'm going to dip it into the lightest color. Tap, drop it all over my pants. Tap off the excess. I'm going to look down and I'm gonna pat that on the inner corner, on the mobile lid. And then, as you can see, I'm not swiping this one, I'm patting it on to get that lightness on the inner corner. And then as I get towards that darker shade, I'm just sort of tapping it over the top and blending it in. Don't worry, I'm gonna go in with a mid-tone shade so I can blend those two shades, like marry them together. Because as you can see, I have that light shade now. And then that dark towards the back. So now I want to take that mid-toned brown again on that same brush, just tap it in a little bit and then blend those shades together. At this point, you can do two different things. Well, three different things if you want to. You can add lashes if you want. I personally do like to add lashes because I think that lashes add so much with very little effort. In my opinion, though. I think most people are not going to wear lashes on the everyday, but I will show you what it looks like with lashes. I'm just going to set a pair on top. So it's a very basic eye look. Then you set a lash on top. Obviously if I put this on correctly, it's just a really pretty, simple, basic eye. I personally like eyeliner. This is just a personal preference of my own. Not black. I'm not a big fan of black eyeliner. I like brown. The one that I'm going to use is the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in Brouhaha. It's just a really pretty brown liner. It's got a lot of depth and richness to it. It's not overwhelming like a black eyeliner can be. And so there's a couple of different ways that you can line your lid. Line like this. This is kind of how I do it. I shove it in my eye and then I just shut my eye and run it on the upper waterline. Because as you can see, now it's darkened that upper waterline. That's kind of advanced though for most people. You're not going to do that. So you can just take this and run it right along the top, like very gently. I'm very gently, almost like stamping it on just to darken my lash line. You don't have to add this step, but I do find that this just sort of like finishes it off. Another thing I see a lot of beginner people doing when they're doing their makeup is going like this. They pull a lot. They do a lot of this kind of thing. And you can do that, but you don't need to. It's just gonna pull on your face. You don't really need to be pulling on your face like that. More than anything, what I try to do is just look down in a mirror. And then it makes sure that your eye is in the same position it's going to be when you're actually looking at people. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you do your eyeliner like this, when you let go, it's gonna look different. Whereas if you just kind of keep your eye like this, when you get done, it's the same position that your eye's gonna be in. Like you're gonna look the same. And I do personally like to run it on my waterline. You don't have to. It's a total personal preference. I do like it because I like the sultry look that it gives. So for this part, I do pull my eyelash down a little bit so I can get to my waterline. Your waterline is where I'm putting the eyeliner right now. And this is hard for a lot of people to do. It just takes a lot of practice, but you can get it. And that just sort of, I don't know, gives a sultry appearance to the eyes, you know, makes it look good. At this stage, if you're not going to use false eyelashes, I do recommend curling your lashes just because I think, I don't know, it makes the whole look just kind of come together. Looks really good. And I don't know, I just think it makes the lashes stand up more and just, I don't know, I think they look better. So I'm just going to quickly curl my lashes and I will show you with lashes and without. I am not the kind that like sits here and crimps on it. Personally, I just kind of hold it for like 15 seconds. It's up to you. You can do what you want. This, I'm not going to teach in depth because it really is all about practice. You just put it up to your eye and curl. It's hard though. If you're new to this, like you can skip this step. You can. But look at the difference between my eyelashes. How these ones now are standing up. I don't know. I just feel like it makes a big difference. So then for mascara, it's all personal choice. I'm using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. Hate the name, love the mascara. Just find that it's really pretty. I tend to really like to use waterproof mascara as well. The CoverGirl Exhibitionist Waterproof Mascara is really nice. I feel like it's a really pretty mascara and my lashes do not move when I use waterproof. So when you're doing your mascara, looking down, like tilting your head back like I said, looking down, and I blink it on. Some people don't, some people do. I like to blink my mascara on because I feel like it's easier. And I personally do like it on my lower lashes because I think that it's pretty, but it's just, again, it's personal preference. And obviously my face isn't done, like my foundation and everything's not done, but if it were, it would look really pretty. So this is the easiest eyeshadow. This is so simple. Like obviously the easiest eyeshadow would be rubbing it on with your finger and just being done in 2 seconds. But if you're trying to look like polished and put together, super easy. This was 3 colors, 1 eyeliner, mascara, and I did do a little bit of priming to get the base perfected before I put that down, but you don't have to. But any concealer will work, you know? You don't have to use an eyelid primer. Some people will convince you that you have to use one. You absolutely don't. This works perfectly fine. It's worked for me for literally years. Again, you can also toss a pair of lashes on at this point. These are the Ardell Faux Mink lashes. If I were gonna get married, I would definitely toss a pair of lashes on. Like it just absolutely finishes the look. Look how pretty that looks. So that is with a pair of lashes. You don't have to, but if you want to do a pair of lashes, I'm going to show you how to put them on. They're very easy. Don't let it fool you. It takes practice. Everything takes practice, but don't be scared of lashes. You're stronger than a pair of eyelashes. Come on. So when your eyelashes come out of the package, first I'm going to show you how to remove it correctly from here. So I buy these packs of like 4 sets because I just find this the best deal. If you're trying to get it off of here and you're grabbing the edge and peeling it, you're more likely to rip your eyelash. Grab like this, like take your finger. First of all, you can bend these packs if you want, but you can also just take it and kind of gently coax it off like this, like sort of by pushing on top of it. Eyelashes, when they come out of the pack, they're kind of too long for most people's eyes. Unless you have blessed with gigantic eyes, most people need to trim their lashes. I have a video about this that I've done in the past, but I want this all to be in one place so that people don't have to go to multiple videos. Keep a little pair of scissors, a little pair of fingernail clippers, or whatever you want up where you're doing your makeup. The inside of this one, as you can see, I'll try to get my camera to focus. See how the inside has this little tiny clear piece? Cut that sucker off. Get out of here, clear piece. Nobody asked for you. Nobody wants you around. We don't want you around here no more, dirt. You can kind of measure it to your eye if you want. But basically, I like to start my lash kind of right here on my eye. I don't want it to go too far in. Even though that would look really pretty, it will poke your eyes and it will feel so irritating all day long and you'll be like, get off my face. Get off my face. If you don't want to do that, trim your lashes a little bit. I usually just take this last little cluster and just go, get away from me, you know? And then you've got a nice pair of trimmed up lashes that you can put on your eyes. Lash glue. I love the Duo Lash Adhesive. I don't happen to have any right now. I'm just using what I have. And this stuff is black and I don't necessarily like this, but I love the Duo Lash Adhesive in, I can't remember, there's like a double-sided one that you can get or any of them, but I do like the ones that have the wand versus like the squirty outy ones that you have to like, I don't know, those are annoying. I like the wand way better. So if you have the choice of getting one that's like a glue tube, or if you have the choice of getting one that's like a wand like this, pick the wand, in my opinion. It's your choice. It's your life. Live it however you want. Don't let me tell you what to do, but also listen to me. I swiped it all over the band. Then you're gonna wanna wait like 30 seconds. If you put it directly on your eye, it's coming off, baby. It's gonna slide all around. You gotta wait for glue to get tacky. It's the same way with like Elmer's glue. Imagine you're putting Elmer's glue on a piece of paper. If you put it directly, the two pieces of paper together, they slip slide all around. But if you give them a minute to get tacky, they stick right together. So give it a second to get tacky and then hold it in your tweezers. You can get a pair of lash applicators or you can just use tweezers. Again, I'm all about using the things you already have versus going out and buying a new contraption for basically the same purpose. You can use this to pluck your eyebrows too or your chin hairs if you're like me. Gonna hold this in my hand. And I'm gonna let it get tacky for, I don't know, 30 seconds or so. You can kind of blow on it. Just like eyeshadow application. I'm gonna tilt my head back. I'm gonna take these in my hand and I'm going to slide them over my natural lashes. Now, normally I would do my mascara second. Like on this eye, I'll do my mascara after. I find it's easier to apply lashes if I hadn't already done my mascara. But I'm just basically, I kind of set them on my lashes and then push them back. And then I take them looking down into the mirror and I sort of position them where I need them to be. The inner corner is the little bitch. It always is and it always has been and it always will be for everybody. But you know what? We love her. So you're going to take that inner corner and you're just going to press her where she goes. If it sits more on your lashes than it does on your skin, literally who cares? Do it. It's more comfortable that way sometimes for me. It might not look as cute when you close your eyes, but the only time that really matters is during your wedding. So maybe you get somebody else to help you with your lashes during your wedding. But I take it, now that they're tacky, you see how it just kind of sticks where I put it? Yeah. Sort of shimmy it into position. I said position, but I meant to say position. Then I do the thing that's a little bit scary when you first start doing it, but it's fine. Take your tweezers and kind of clamp your lashes in with the false lashes. This part really melds them together and makes it look like, those look good. And it's like, I know they do. And this is what the finished eye look would look like with a pair of lashes. So you can see, like I said, it's impactful. It gets the job done. It looks really good. Was really cheap, was really easy. Anybody can do it. You can use dollar store eyeshadows. You can use the same concealer and foundation and you can just, you know what? Don't let anybody tell you what to do. Don't let these people online make you feel like you need to buy 8,000 products. You don't need to buy, you probably already have it. You probably already have it and you can do this with what you have. I assume you might need to buy a pair of fresh lashes. You can do this. It's very easy. And I'm sure all of you are looking at this like, yeah, we know we can do that. That's the easiest thing. And it's like, I'm giving you encouragement to something you probably already know how to do, but hey, you're watching. Nobody made you watch it. There's a couple more steps you could do if you wanted to, if you want to. You can take a little bit of that lightest shade, tap off the excess and like tap it right here on the inner corner. You can do that. Do you need to? You don't have to do anything. Again, it's makeup. It washes off. It's not that deep. Some people are going to make makeup seem like it's that deep. It's makeup. The makeup community is the most dramatic place in the entire world, or at least once was. For what reason? I literally don't know. It's makeup! You could take that lightest shade and really tap it on the inner corner. You could also take that lightest shade and highlight your brow bone. I just kind of taking it up here and lightly putting it under your eyebrow. Do I ever do this? I'm not even gonna lie to you. Never once have, never once will. It's a step that I don't feel like I need and I don't actually feel like it actually does that much. But hey, it's your life again. If you wanted to add a shimmer, you absolutely too can take it on the tip of your finger. There's not one in this palette, so I didn't want to do it. You could take that shimmer on the tip of your finger and just tap it on the front of your lid right here. Again, you don't need an extra tool. You have one. Unless you don't have one, then you'll need an extra tool. And that is the finished eye look, and I will be right back with the finished full face. Rest of my face is done. Now I want to show you the final step in your makeup if you want to. You can just leave it like this. This is done and enough. Or you can take one of the lighter colors. You can do the darker one if you want, just a little bit, mix them together on that smaller, like detailed blending brush, and just run that right along your lower lash line, just to make everything cohesive. This will add some depth down there to make it kind of smokier and just overall really pretty. Let's see. And then I'm just gonna toss a little bit more mascara on to make sure it's all good. Ow. All right, and this is the finished look. You see what I mean when I say it's very effective? Like, this is a very pretty, easy eye look that I feel like could work for anything. Like I said, it could work for a wedding. You could lighten it up a little bit if it's too dark. It can work for a night out. It could work for a day at work if you want to go bold. Just leave the lashes off and it's just sort of like an everyday look. This can work for anything. It's just a very simple one. And you can take this and you can modify it for any way that you need. You can take this and change out the colors for a dark blue, a light blue, and like a little white color in the front, a dark green, a shiny, you know, champagne color. You can do mustards, you can do warm browns. This is more of like a cool toned brown. There are so many different options that you can do with literally 3 colors. All you really need is a deep color, a medium shade, and a light shade. And you can kind of do anything. This is all matte. Like I said, you can add a shimmer if you want. The world is your oyster. And it's just about blending. I'm going to have all of the products that I used in this video listed down below if you guys are interested in checking them out. Obviously, like I mentioned, this is not about products. This is about technique. It's about trial and error. It's about doing it and washing it off, doing it, washing it off. If you want to perfect your eyeshadow, you just have to practice. Blend more than you think. Don't worry as much about products, but if your products are really, really, really performing poorly, maybe try switching it up a little bit to see. But I have great luck with my Coastal Scents 252 palette from back in the day that was $25 or 252 eyeshadows. Or honestly, I like it. I like those a lot better than like my Natasha Denona shadows. I think those were, because it's $250 or whatever for an eyeshadow palette, it's lackluster for me. It doesn't give what it needs to be giving. If you guys are interested in checking out any of the products I did use, I will have them linked down below. If you guys like this style of video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and send this to your friends. If you have anybody that's been struggling with eyeshadow that really doesn't know how to do it, doesn't know how to apply lashes, has an event coming up, wants to know what to do, I can make more of these for you. I can do it on foundation. I can do it on blending bronzer. I'm no incredible expert like celebrity makeup artist who, you know, those people know how to do it for photography, but I've been doing this for 13 years. I did makeup on brides for a while. I know what I'm doing. So let me know what you guys are interested in seeing, and I will happily do that for you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you at my next video. Bye! So I sneeze. Where is my fingernail clippers that I used to clip my eyelashes? Where the fuck did they go? Where did they go? Okay, well, hello? Okay, so the rest.